myself, what a wonderful world.
Hello and Happy New Year, Happy New Moon today. It's January 12th. This is my first video of the year. For those of you who are following my last 60, Best 60, I was dropping weekly videos, and I really loved how it turned out, and the response was great this year, or I should say 2020. So what I decided to do for this year is to offer 2 videos a month. So instead of waiting till the last 60 days, I really thought we could just live the year strong. Instead of end the year strong, live the year strong. And I decided to, like today is the new moon, to coordinate my videos with the full moon and the new moon. And I've been following the moon for 20 years or so, or more, I should say. For those of you who've come to my yoga classes over the years, I always acknowledge if the class falls on a new moon or full moon, to just really acknowledge, not like we can feel it in the air necessarily, although they do say that you can sense a different feeling. The water, the ocean tides respond to the moon, and we are something like 90% water, so there is something inside of us that respond. I'm going to start doing these moon phase videos to just be in touch more and to really help us all to live the year strong instead of just finishing strong, to live the year strong. And every month I'm going to also just suggest some things around one of the categories of the Wheel of Life, which is now my very favorite tool to use. And I hope that you'll come along the journey with me. So for January, and it's the new moon, and it's the first new moon of the year, and there is some auspiciousness about that, specialness about it, whether it's just, we think it's special, or the, sort of heavens, or the, planetary specialness, and the energy that's along with that. You could totally buy into that and be all in on that, or not. That's totally fine. But what it gives us is this different rhythm. Instead of like, oh, it's January 1st, I have to make New Year's resolutions. If you were in my last 60 Best 60 group, I really encouraged us to not set New Year's resolutions at January 1st. I said, just really give yourself time to complete the year and feel complete in the year of all that's gone on. And because we ended the year with a very full moon, the full moon was, I think, on the 28th or the 29th. And I really encouraged us to wait a couple weeks or a week or so until the new moon to really dig into getting more clear and committed to our resolutions and our goals. And I mean, I'm all about goals, but I also am all about really feel some good completion to the year. So I hope that the first couple of weeks has given you that time to do that, and that you'll take a look at this year with some fresh eyes, and to really make this year the year you've been waiting for. And by that I mean, we've been, at most of last year, 2020, we were locked down, in quarantine, sheltering in place, and just waiting. And now that the vaccine is on the horizon for many of us sooner rather than later, I really want to help us to make this the year that we've been waiting for. I think if anything, the COVID coming on, not that anyone would ask for it because it's been tragic, but I think for those of us who have been able to work at home, or have been able to shift our work to something that is less mobile and commuting in offices, it's also been a time to go inward And that's not easy. I totally acknowledge that's not easy, and it's disrupted a lot of our lifestyle, but it's also slowed us down quite a bit in a way that I hope that you've had some time to really reflect. And with that reflection, I hope that that comes with some insight and clarity on making this the year that you've been waiting for. Now that the vaccine is on the horizon, I hope that we're living into the year that we've been waiting for, and that we are living the life that we definitely are excited to have and to live into every area, every minute of our life. So for the new moon in January, I invite us to think about and consider, set some intentions around fun and adventure. And I know that's kind of like not the typical one. People start with health goals and, work goals and things like that. But I purposely chose fun and adventure because I think when we are energized, when we feel filled up and really inspired by funny and adventure, that gives us some clarity. That really helps us to decide what we want to do and what we don't want to do. One of the things that I ended last year with my last 60 Best 60 group was to really notice what energizes you. Like, that is a skill that so many of us can cultivate and haven't yet cultivated and refined to its full potential. So one of the things is just to notice what energizes you, what makes you laugh, what makes you smile, what feels like an adventure to you, because what makes me laugh and smile and is fun to me may not be what is fun and energizing and inspires you. So really know for you what that is. That is huge. That is huge, because you're going to start to notice and look for experiences, movies, people, opportunities to have that fun and adventure. And sometimes I was sharing with in my last 60 video that I didn't know what was fun for me for a long time. And I look back and, I also realize I'm here in California because I'm helping my parents. So I'm in the home where I grew up in. And I didn't know, we didn't grow up knowing fun and adventure. We're very committed to work and school and practicing piano. That was our life. There weren't a lot of fun and adventure. So it's something I've really learned, and it's something that I've realized makes such a difference in my life. So if you were lucky enough to grow up in a home where fun and adventure was valued, great, awesome, you're on the path. But for me, it's really important for me to know and notice what fills me up, what energizes me, what makes me laugh, what makes me, feel lighthearted, because that kind of energy is going to set your year in a very particular direction. So notice your energy and notice when you need to shift your energy, when you need to shift, like, oh, my week's getting a little too heavy, or if you look at your week or your monthly calendar and you're like meeting, presentations, doing all this research or all that, you need to insert very conscientiously fun. And maybe that's talking to a friend who makes you laugh. Maybe that's watching a movie that makes you laugh. Maybe it's, if you like to cook and you're really challenged and inspired by a harder recipe. Like, for me, Bon Appetit magazine is for the adventurous cook. And it's not for me. It's not for me for the everyday. Anyways. And so whatever that is fun and adventurous to you, notice when you actually need to insert it, because life and work and other things are kind of, either heavy or intense or demanding of your energy. And just notice how you feel during or in anticipation of or after you participate in those fun and adventurous things. And don't think like, oh, I can't leave the house, I don't have opportunities for fun and adventure. Well, I'll just say, like, get creative and have fun getting creative. So yeah, set an intention in the next day or so to have a little bit more fun and adventure. Like, let's just say today is a 5, and you could have had the very, very best day, you could have had the worst day ever, but let's just call it a 5. See what it would take to get to a 7. See if you can even make it to a 8 or a 9 or a 10. Like, just use today as a baseline and just see if you can add, 5 points to your fun and adventure score. And like I said, get creative with things, because if you're in a winter area like Chicago, like maybe it's snowshoeing or cross-country skiing, or doing a cooking class online with some friends, whatever. Like, get creative, because it's so possible. And I just know that for me, I get excited thinking about these different ways of getting creative and just bringing the joy. Be the one in your group, in your community of friends, in your family who brings the joy. Like, let's do this. And it really adds to, because sometimes other people don't know how to have fun and adventure. So be the one who starts and instigates and creates some fun and adventure for your friends. Because isn't that a great thing to be known for, is to be the one who brings the joy and makes things fun and creates adventure. So yeah, really think about how you can do that this month, and notice how many times you really, really belly laugh. And I just know that feels really good. Like, when I noticed, and I'll say that probably living with my husband, Jason, if you've ever met him, is there have just been moments where we just, like, he makes me belly laugh, or we'll watch something that I would never choose, but it's so funny. And so just really notice, and then try to make that times 5 this week. Like, if it's a movie or whatever, maybe I'll link it to you, I don't know, but this morning, I cut a pineapple with my mom, and she, growing up, she said she cut pineapples, like 20 pineapples a day. She was so good at it, and she wanted to teach me how to do it. And so I did time-lapse video of it, and when I showed it to her, she was just belly laughing, and I think it felt really good to do that. So my intention is to do more things that help our family, my mom, my dad, and myself, to really have some very good belly laughs while I'm here this week. And then also look ahead, because the vaccinations are on the horizon, and plan for like July or September, like something that really excites you, that you're gonna be like planning and thinking about and inviting the right people, and anticipating that you can do once you get the vaccination and your friends get the vaccination. Like, really think about that. Like, make it what you've been waiting for. Like, not just, oh, I'm vaccinated, who should I go to dinner with, or what should I do now, or where should I go? Like, actually plan it. And this is what I mean about living strong. Instead of being pushed or pulled by things out there, like, really generate a life that turns you on. So happy New Year, happy January, and happy new moon. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.